Hey, I'm Michael Chris, seven-figure merchant and the CEO of ShineOn. We got quoted over $200,000 to rebuild ShineOn's brand. Instead, I spent a coffee break with ChatGPT and I got to 70 to 80% of the same result. And now I've figured out how to apply the same branding methodology to e-com stores. So if you run an e-commerce or print-on-demand store and you want agency-level branding fast and cheap, I'm going to show you how in this video. By the end of this video, you're going to have a brand kit that you can plug directly into your e-com store, a tone of voice guide so that you can write copy that converts, and a mood board and logo ideas for your e-com store with no design degree required. This is the AI brand e-com engine. 5 prompts, 1 hour, and agency level polish. Let's go. So on my screen, you can see I've got ChatGPT up, and the first thing we're going to do is ask it to build a brand evaluation guide for e-commerce or print-on-demand stores in our niche. So all I'm going to say is something like this. Hey, I'm building my own print-on-demand brand, and I'd like your help building a brand evaluation guide. What I would like to do is give you the URLs of a bunch of high-performing brands in my niche, and I want you to go to each of those websites and evaluate those brands across the exact same dimensions to help me identify commonalities and patterns that exist between them. So can you please help me create a brand evaluation guide now, and list out each of the dimensions you would evaluate all of these brands across to help me build my own successful print-on-demand brand. Thanks. Now you're going to notice that wasn't anything special. I even rambled there a little bit, but it's okay because ChatGPT is smart enough. It's going to put this together in a coherent way and it'll understand my request. So let me go ahead and hit enter. Let's see what it comes back with. If you want to build your brand using the exact prompts you see in this video, just type brand in the comments below. I'll drop you a link to my free AI brand kit prompt pack that includes the exact prompts that you're seeing on the screen. And then you'll be able to copy paste them and fly through these steps. So again, just type brand in the comments to get your free prompt pack. It's thinking. This is one of the reasons I like 03 or 04 mini or mini high models. All right, let's build a repeatable side-by-side evaluation framework you can apply to any high-performing print-on-demand brand. You'll score each dimension 1 through 5 and capture qualitative notes. Later, you can pull a Pareto, 20% and a super Pareto of what moves the needle. So brand strategy, positioning and category, value prop, target and audience, brand story and mission, differentiation, visual identity, offer. Okay, great. So now what I'm going to do is say, okay, this is fantastic. Now, based on this guide and these dimensions you identified, can you write for me a prompt that I'm going to copy paste into ChatGPT along with the brands I want you to evaluate? So that would be along with the URLs of the brands I want you to evaluate. And then what I want you to do is execute the brand analysis against those websites. Please build me a prompt that will do that. Thanks. All right, so here it comes. Now it's going to take all the dimensions it just identified, and it's going to build me a prompt that I can copy and paste back into ChatGPT to perform the analysis that I want it to do. So here comes the prompt that it just built for me. This is pretty easy. So I'm going to click copy. And then what I'm going to do is open up a new chat inside of ChatGPT. I'm still on 04 mini high. I'm going to paste in the prompt. Please perform the analysis now. And now all it needs are these brands to evaluate. Now this is where you are going to need to do some of your own homework. You're going to have to figure out what niche you're selling in and what print-on-demand company and products and everything that you're using. And you're going to have to go find stores that are successful in that niche with those products. And then you're going to feed those stores into this prompt here. Now, I've already got some ideas of the niche that I want to target. I'm going to be using ShineOn in my new store. No surprise, I'm the CEO of the company and a former merchant anyway. I really like ShineOn's print-on-demand jewelry. It's really high margin, but what I'm focusing on for this video are the acrylic items. So if I click over here into acrylic, ShineOn's got printed acrylic, engraved acrylic, and then these really cool acrylic bundles. And then ShineOn's also got some really cool home decor and leather items, as well as wall art that I think is going to work really good on this new store. I'm thinking of a store that does hyper personalization and that that's really its niche. So I'm going to be focusing on Shine On for this. Now, based on the brand that we want to create, I want to do something that's in the personalized gifting niche. And so I've got 5 examples of brands that I know are doing really well in this space. So now first up, I've got Trending Custom. And if I use a tool like SimilarWeb, I can see that they're actively driving a ton of traffic into this site. So in the month of May, they had 330,000 visits to the site, for example. And if I scroll down, I can even see where the traffic sources are coming from. And a good chunk of them are coming from social, which means they're actively spending money on this. So I know this is a pretty successful store. To show you some of the products they do really well with, I'm going to click in here to best sellers. And you can see it's like personalized t-shirts. Here are these acrylic plaques. You've got canvas going on over here. Here's another acrylic plaque that's kind of like nightlight-ish. So this is a really good store that I want us to model. So I'm going to take Trending Custom and I'm just going to copy paste it into our prompt. I'm also going to do the same thing with Gosby. Gosby is another store that sells personalized t-shirts, mugs, canvas, acrylic. Then you have McCorner. McCorner is another store right inside of the same niche. You have Wonder Prints here. Again, same thing, lots of personalized gift products where the buyer gets to come add their name or add a clip art to the item. And then you have Sunflowerly, and it's, again, kind of the same thing. So I know all of these stores, they're actively driving traffic to the stores and they're getting sales and they've been established. These stores have been around for a couple years. So I'm going to feed each of the URLs into ChatGPT and then ask it to perform that brand analysis on these sites. All right, I've got them all in here now. I'm going to click enter and let it rip. Now, it's probably going to take a little bit to think about it. Evaluating the sources, searching the web, that's a good sign. Just doing some analysis on the pricing strategy, which is pretty freaking cool. And bam, here are our results. It thought for 42 seconds. All right, so you can see it took all the dimensions from the process it wrote, and it evaluated each of them across the dimensions. Here's what stands out. There's personalization at the core. They have massive catalogs versus curated depth. So Wander, Prince, and McCorner lean into breadth, while Trending Custom and Gosby focus on top niches. Okay, that's interesting. Social proof wins. The brands with front and center review counts outperform lesser known sites. The UX clarity matters. A streamlined nav. So Trending Custom McCorner. This is because they have so many products on their site, they have to have really good navigation. Hey, just a heads up, if you're still watching without your prompt pack, you're going to be going slower than you need to. Just comment brand below or hit the link in the pinned comment so you can get all the prompts in this video and fly through these steps. So something I noticed that is missing from the analysis is like any type of evaluation on the brand colors and the copy. And I think that's important because we're going to need that for our own store. So I'm actually going to ask it now to add that to its analysis. Hey, I've noticed that missing from your analysis is any mention of the brand colors that were used or the type of copy and the tone of voice, the call to actions, the unique selling propositions, and things like that. Can you please go back into each of these 5 brands and perform analysis on these things as well, and then add them to your master analysis, please? Again, based on your results, the common patterns that you've identified that help lead to their success, we're going to spin up our own brand. Thank you. Let's push that in there and let it rip. And boom, here it is with that bit of the analysis. Okay, this is fantastic. Now what we're going to do is we're going to ask ChatGPT to look at its analysis and to identify those things that are really leading to these brands' success and to write us a guide to create our own brand. And then we're going to execute that guide on just a second. Look, I understand it's kind of meta, right? It's like we ask it to do an analysis, and then we go, hey, do an analysis of your analysis, then build a framework. But this is what it's like iterating with AI. It's extremely intelligent, and it's like having a brand expert at your fingertips. And these are the type of real world questions you might ask them. So, hey, now that you've performed all of this analysis across these 5 different brands, can you please go in and evaluate the commonalities and the patterns across each of the dimensions and what really leads to success? And then based on that, I want you to write me a guide that I can use to spin up my own print-on-demand brand inspired by the best practices from your research. Okay, so we're going to drop that in there, let that cook. All right, so it looks like it's done. So core patterns, driving top print-on-demand brands, brand strategy and USP, laser focus positioning, single falsifiable claim up front, like 250K 5-star reviews, handmade in the USA. Yeah, okay, great. And the cool thing is Shine On products, a lot of them are assembled, fulfilled, or made in the USA. So that's going to be awesome. Okay, very cool. And it's got some colors and all this stuff. Okay, this is fantastic. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to ask it to spin up 3 brand concepts in this niche that we're going to get to choose from. So we'll just say, this is fantastic. You're doing an awesome job. Now, based on all of this research you performed so far in this particular chat, I want you to spin up for me 3 brand new print-on-demand brand concepts that I can choose from, selling similar products in this niche. We're going to be focused on personalized acrylic plaques, wall art, tumblers, mugs, t-shirt, blankets, etc. I want you to use all the best practices you've identified so far and come up with 3 brands, 3 high-performing brands that could go toe-to-toe with any of the ones I've already shared with you. Thank you. All right, dump it in. Let's see what happens. And you're going to notice this whole process is just me iteratively kind of going back and forth with ChatGPT in a conversational manner. These language models are so good. It doesn't have to be super scientific. It doesn't need to be like the perfect prompt to get the output that you want. So, okay, here's what it's coming back with. You got acrylic aura, USP, #1 most reviewed custom acrylic keepsakes in the US. Again, we can modify all this stuff as we want. Right now, we're just looking at the concepts. Target audience, 24 to 45. Gift givers. Let's see, hero SKUs are acrylic plaques, floating wall art, desktop photo blocks. Visual identity is teal green. Let's grab this one here, and we'll just say, hey, let me paste it in. Hey, we're going to go with this one. I really like the USP. I would say it ships within 2 to 3 days on every custom design. And I would also add it ships in 2 to 3 days from the US on every custom design. And we may even want to add, if it's not too much, we may even want to add that it will deliver within 2 to 7 days anywhere in the continental US, though that's probably getting a little wordy for a USP. Last minute gifters. I like the target audience. That's good. Tumblers, mugs, acrylic photos. I would say acrylic plaques, travel tumblers, blankets are definitely some things I'd like to add to the hero SKUs. Rush finish add-on for $5. I love that. It's a fantastic idea. I don't think it should guarantee same day production though. What it should do is move the fulfillment to the top of the line maybe, or give the order priority. For customer support and things like that. Bundles, order 3 items, get free expedited shipping. Okay, I like that. Visual identity, coral, great. The neutrals, light gray, crisp white. Okay, good. All right, I'm loving everything about this. The only thing I don't like is the name. Can you please suggest to me 10 alternatives on the name, and please try to do some basic domain checking to make sure that the domain is available on all of the names that you provide me. Thanks. All right, you notice how it's super sloppy. Like what I'm doing here is quite messy, and I hope that you're feeling empowered by that, right? And seeing that it's not like I have some special knowledge here that I'm throwing at ChatGPT. I'm literally just talking to it, and I'm not even talking to it quite like I would a friend, because this is super sloppy, right? Like I'm literally just like brain dumping on the fly, giving it a stream of consciousness type of thought, like right out of my mouth as I go. And it is able to take all that, interpret it, like put it together in a coherent manner and give me world-class output. And here's what it came back with. Swift Forge, Rush Crafts, Quick Gifts Lab, Next Day Prints. There's no way that's available. Speedy Keepsakes, Express Keeps, Rapid Gift Code, Turbo Treasure, Flash Forge Gifts, and Quick Rush Prints. There is no way Next Day Prints is available. There's no freaking way. Next Day Prints. Let's pop into Namecheap and see. Next Day Prints. No way. No way. Registered in 2003. I knew it. Anyway, you may have to go back and forth on this a few different times to get the name that you want dialed in. But let's just say for now, and keep in mind, all of the names it's coming up with are inspired by the 5 other brands that I gave it. So if you go into a different niche and you feed it different brands, it's going to come up with different names. And you can always iterate with it if you don't like what it's got. I like Quick Gift Labs. It's just a little too utilitarian, and there's probably not enough personality in that. And some of this is down to personal preference for me. Turbo Treasure. Here, in fact, I'm going to say, hey, you did a great job here, but all of these names are a little bit too utilitarian. Can you give me some names that have a little bit more personality? Thanks. All right, let's let that cook. Okay, it's back. Spark and Sin, Fizz and Flash, Pop and Presents, Whirl and Gift, Flash, Fable, Blink, Bloom, Gifty Goose. I love that one. I love that. So I'll take the domain, pop over to Namecheap, dump it in here. Let's see what it comes back with. Registered in 2023. Yeah, but you could do like Gifty Goose. Let's look at it real quick. You could probably do like Gifty Goose Shop, Gifty Goose Store, and yeah, they're not even using it. So I'd probably use like Gifty Goose Shop or something like that. I don't know. There's something about the alliteration in the name that I kind of love. So let's just say I'm going to go with that one for the sake of this video. So let's say, okay, fantastic job. I'm going to go with Gifty Goose. I love that name. You did a fantastic job on that. Now what I want you to do is build me a complete brand kit based on the site Gifty Goose, and make sure you use all of the things that I liked about Prismcraft. We're just changing the name to Gifty Goose. I'm going to paste everything about Prismcraft below. And please, now I want you to build me a detailed brand kit for this new store. Okay. Let's drop that in there. Let's go grab everything that it wrote for me about Prismcraft. Okay, drop it in here. I'll change the name to Gifty Goose just so I don't get confused. Now it's going to go and it's going to cook and it's going to build me an entire brand kit. Now, here's where it starts to get fun, because it builds the brand kit for the brand, and then we're going to start spinning that off into mood boards, typographies, logos. It gets a lot of fun after this. So here's my brand kit. It's putting it together in a canvas. I like this, but right away I just feel like it needs more detail. I can tell just by skimming it. Can you increase the level of detail in your brand kit by 40%, please? Thank you. Now, whenever I ask it to add more detail to something, I always like to quantify how much detail I want it to give me. Keep in mind, you're talking to a robot here, so it does well when you can give it numbers, percentages, and specifics in your request. All right, let's read this. Gifty Goose, gifts that arrive goose fast. I just freaking love that. It's already got personality. It's probably a little bit silly, so you tailor this to your niche and your audience. It's just fun to me. Ships in 1 to 2 days on every custom design from the US for busy gift givers, for busy gifters who need personalized keepsakes in a flash. Gifty Goose delivers custom design tumblers, blah, blah, blah. Target customer profiles. Okay, that's great. Core offer. You got tumblers, all this stuff. It gives you some price points. You don't have to keep to these price points. It's so cool. It does all this for you. It's like talking to a brand expert. Rush Friend, it gives you some ideas on some upsells, packaging and unboxing. A lot of these upsells we actually have at Shine On, which is pretty cool. Visual identity. All right, coral accent gray. Okay, typography, Montessori. Okay, this is the stuff where I just feel like it starts to make it so easy to build your brand, because it just does the colors, the fonts for you. A logo. I knew it was going to try to add a goose to the logo. It's okay. We'll see what it comes up with. I typically like plain font logos because they're just easy, but we'll see what it can come up with here. Voice, tone, and messaging. Okay, this is great. All right, this is all really good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to copy this, X out of here. I'm just probably going to paste it in here. And I'm just going to say, hey, you did a fantastic job with the brand kit. Can you please help me, all right, I'm going to say, hey, you did a fantastic job with the brand kit. Can you please generate images now of logo concepts for this brand? Please reference the brand kit you just wrote for me below. Thanks. Okay. All right, it's getting started on an image. Let's see what it comes back with. Okay, check these out. These are pretty fun. Dude, it's just freaking incredible, man, that you can do this. Like, you used to have to pay someone to do this. It would take a couple days to turn around. Now you can just do this on the fly. So look, I actually like these. I probably like something like this just to keep it simple. This one up here in the top left. So I'm just going to kind of screenshot that like so. All right, so now what I'm going to say, then we go, okay. Say, okay, you're doing a fantastic job here. Now what I'd like you to do is to generate for me 3 mood boards based on the brand kit and the logo that you just generated for me. I've attached the logo into this chat. Please make sure you reference that and make sure you reference the brand kit below. And I want you to generate for me 3 mood board images that I can use as inspirations when I go to build my site. Keep in mind, I'm going to be building my website with Shopify. So and keep in mind the type of products I'm going to have on the website. What I'd like for you to do in your mood boards is generate, images of what my Shopify site might look like. Thank you. So I'm going to dump that in there, and I'm going to have to copy paste the brand kit back in there. Oh, I'm having some dictation problems. Let me fix that. All right, got that in there. Grab my brand kit one more time. By the way, you could easily just save your brand kit into a PDF document or something, so it's a little easier to add. I'm just copy pasting it. And so what I did, just so you know, is like right inside of ChatGPT, I created a new project for the new print-on-demand brand I'm creating, and then I took the output that I was getting here, and I just kept putting it back into the project, so the project could use those reference files as I prompted back and forth with it. So it got smarter and smarter over time, which is similar to what we're doing here. But that's one way you can take things to the next level when you're actually building out your own brand. All right, great. Let's check out this mood board here. Your design goose fast. I freaking look, I know it's silly, but these are the types of things that give your brand personality and make them memorable. And I just think that that's so much fun. I dig the colors. The coral's great. The topography's good. The tumblers, like here's some examples of some products. Obviously the store will look different, but it's still pretty awesome. Okay, let's go to this other one. And what's neat about the mood boards is you can get several different ones. And look, I'm not saying they're all fantastic, but it starts to help you like really cement all this work that you just did. And it gives you a really good kind of sense of what your site can look like. And then as you get into Shopify, you can actually build towards this, right? And you have all the colors already. You have all the hex codes for all the colors already in the brand kit. You have the fonts picked out for you. You have ideas for copy to put on the website, taglines, subheadlines, all that stuff. It makes it so much easier. All right, good. So we got 2 more kind of mood boards here. These are pretty good. What I really want to see, though, are some mock-ups of what the website could look like. So I'm going to go back and I'm just going to say, hey, these are fantastic. Can you please generate some mock-ups of what the website itself could look like? I want to see, it's a Shopify store. Show me some mock-ups, generate some images of what the above the fold could look like if you go to the homepage of this store. Then I'd like you to generate some more images of what the product pages could look like when you go to this store. Thanks. Let's ask it to do that. Another thing you can do, I've had lots of really good results with, is going to Midjourney and asking it to use Midjourney to generate these images. It gives you some things that are stylistically a little different, but still really good. All right, now we're cooking with Crisco. Check this out. That's really cool. Now you can really start to see the site, the look and the feel of it coming together in your mind. Right? Your design goose fast. I just freaking love, I know it's silly. I love the whole goose tagline. Again, it just adds a lot of personality. Let's check out this one. Okay, that's pretty cool. I kind of like how it's got this like X number of orders shipped today. It's just kind of neat. Gifty Goose ships in 1 to 2 days nationwide. I really like how they're leading with that. It really does create this like falsifiable, unique selling proposition. Like these subtle things are the difference between a weak brand and a strong brand, right? Like you want your brand to say something, to stand for something, to be memorable. Those are the types of brands that are going to succeed. Seth Godin wrote an entire book around this called The Purple Cow. It's basically like you just want your brand to stand out a little bit, right? Because that's what's going to distinguish it from everything else, all the noise, and be memorable. And you get that here with the Gifty Goose, which I'm just tickled over. All right, so we got 2 more mood boards. Let's take a quick look at these. It's pretty much the same as the other one. Get that one out of here. And this one's a little better. It's almost like some catalog. No. Yeah, I suppose you could like extrapolate this to some catalog pages. Whatever, I think you're kind of getting the idea now. And you can keep going back and forth with ChatGPT as much or as little as you want on this. Now I want to show you how you go from brand kit to creating your tone of voice for all your copy. It's pretty easy to do. You just grab your brand kit again. So we'll just kind of grab it up here. Oh, whoops, a little much. Grab it here, paste it in. Now I'm just going to say, hey, based on our brand kit, can you please write me a tone of voice copywriting guide? Now, based on this brand, I want a tone of voice guide. I'm going to use this guide. I'm going to reference it when we write emails, copy on the website, when our customer service is responding to upset buyers, and so on. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to drop that in there. Let it cook. I'm probably going to need to come in and iterate on it. I'm probably going to have to ask for more detail. And then another thing you really should do in your copy guides is ask for actual examples, like written examples of what the copy is supposed to look and feel like. It's very important because ChatGPT can reference that in the future when it actually writes copy for you. So brand voice foundations, tone do's and don'ts, messaging pillars, example. This is actually pretty good. It's got a lot of examples in here already. This is actually decent. I like this. So what I would do now is I would take your brand kit, I'd dump it into like first of all, you definitely need to save it, right? Save your brand kit to a Google Doc or something like that. Save your tone of voice guide to a Google Doc. Grab the mood boards that you like. Make sure all that's saved in a Google Doc. And then you want to put all of that back into a project inside of ChatGPT. And then that project becomes your hub for everything related to your brand. And you can see just like that, you've built a world-class, like amazing professional print-on-demand brand with personality, with unique selling propositions, with incredible copy. And you're going to be able to use this now to build out your store and hopefully get some sales and build on some success. If you still don't have the AI Brand Kit Prompt Pack, make sure you type brand in the comments below or hit the link in the pinned comment so you can get building right now. So just a quick recap. We asked ChatGPT how to evaluate brands and to build a guide around that. Then once we had the guide, we asked it to take the guide and then translate it into a prompt where we could add in 4 or 5 e-com stores we wanted it to evaluate using the guide. And then it wrote that prompt, we found the stores, we put those things together, we asked it to do some analysis. It performed the analysis. Then we said, hey, based on the patterns and commonalities across these top performing brands, please generate for us 3 unique brand concepts we can choose from. It did that. We iterated on the name for a little bit. We picked out a brand concept that we really liked. Then we said generate a bunch of mood boards. It did all that. And then we've got the brand kit and the mood boards. And then we asked it to create a tone of voice guide. We got that as well. So now with your brand, you've got the brand kit, you have a tone of voice guide, and you have mood boards, complete with logos, your typography, all your site colors, your call to actions, your new unique selling propositions, and more. And AI did all of it for you. This type of brand kit probably would have cost anywhere between $2,000 and $20,000 if you went to a branding agency, but you just did it on the fly using ChatGPT. So take all of this and go build your own. I hope you found today's video helpful, and if you did, please subscribe to the channel. I've got more videos just like this one coming. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.